For those of you that don't know, I do a radio show right here every Friday night, uh, right here on WLEO 26.7 on your radio dial. So make sure. I'm not sure why on Habs I can't see anything. That's one of the reasons why I kind of dislike Habs because um, I can't see my whole screen when I do Habs. But anyways, I am doing another episode where you're live. We hot up in this piece. Since I have a couple of people in here, so everybody that's on Habs, hey, what's going on? If you're watching me on Facebook, I'm streaming on about 6 platforms right now. So if you're watching me, and if you like to comment on what I'm talking about tonight, either jump on Habs or one of the platforms. I know a couple of them are on Facebook. I think I'm on my Facebook page. I'm on the Real Talk with the Guru Facebook page and all that. So if you would like to join in, jump aboard. Now, normally I play music on this show on Friday nights, but because I am live streaming via video, I'm not going to tonight because I don't know the parameters as far as live streaming and with music and all that. Even though WLEO 26.7 is licensed through BMI Music, so but I just don't want to take that chance. So I'm not gonna bother with that tonight. I'm just gonna yak for the next 30 to 45 minutes because there's a certain subject that I really want to get into, and I haven't broadcasted on um, live video in a while. So I've gotten used to just audio. So this is a little different for you boys. So you have to pray for me on this one. But before we get into, hey Larunda, what's going on? How you doing over there on Haps TV? Hello from North Carolina. I am from North Carolina as well. I miss home. Can you do me a favor, Larunda, and can you send me a care package with some Bojangles in it? That'd be great if you did that. So before I get into the topic, though, I do want to shout out one little young lady who is 14 years old, and her name is, I want to butcher this, but pray for me anyway. But her name is Azayela Avant Garde, and this young lady, you talk about. I mean, when I say you're talking about black girl magic, like for real, for real, for real, for real. All right, this young lady at the age of 14 is the first African American student to win the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Now, if you know how big that is, if some of us can't spell. I can't spell go sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But this young lady, it will be called. It's okay. I got a microwave for that, Larunda. I do. I got a microwave for that. But this young lady won the Scripps National Spelling Bee at 14 years old. She was the first African American student to do so. So shout out to her, because that's big. That's big when our students excel. You talk about black girl magic, and you talk about our people doing something and being. Oh man, that thing is awesome. So shout out to her. Let me give her my. Okay, maybe not. Let's try it again. So 14 years old, man. I remember at 14, I couldn't at 14, I couldn't spell, with a crap. I remember having spelling bees in school. I don't know if you guys do, but I remember in school, it was classroom, and then it was the hall that you were on, and then it went from that to the grade spelling bee. If you got past that, then you went to the school spelling bee. And if you got past that, you went to, and then there was just so many different steps. So shout out to this young lady. Okay. Shout out to this young lady who won this spelling bee at 14 years old. I'm so proud of her. Send a gift card. That'd be dope. There we go. All right. Only if they had a gift card would only work if there was a Bojangles here in Missouri, Lorinda, and it's not. Okay. My little man decided he wanted to join me. All right. So I'm waiting around. All right. So again, you're listening to the Real Talk with the Guru. I am broadcasting live on WLEO 26.7 on the internet radio dial. If you would like to listen to the radio, just audio only, and don't want to see my pretty mug, go ahead and download the Zeno app, Zeno, and just do a search for WLEO. We should pop right up. And I am currently live right now. So much stuff. I don't know. I give up. Give me that. All right, this is to show you that life really happens around here. It really do. All right, so we're going to get into the topic. The topic today is learning how to let go. A lot of people struggle in that area of learning how to let go, simply because Okay. Simply because they don't want to. I think a lot of people struggle. I know I did for many, many moons. I struggled in letting things go, letting people go, letting situations go, because it was easier for me to hold on to these things than to face them face to face. You know, and it was just easier for me to do it. So there's 11 signs. If you don't know, if you're listening to this or watching this, if you listen to this or watching this, if you don't know how to let go, if you struggle with the fact that you know that you have to let go and won't let go, I'm going to give you 11 things or 11 reasons why you should let go. But before I get into that, if there's anybody listening right now who is a live streamer or a podcaster or has a show of some sort and you would like to, and you're looking for a place, or you're looking for a place to store your content, WLEO is looking for artists, DJs, talk show hosts, doctors, lawyers, whatever. If you got a show idea, you want to come on and be a part of WLEO, you can absolutely do that. Just reach out to Mr. Ernest Harris, who is our CEO. I am the co-executive producer as well on that particular radio station. So if you'd like to join us, shoot us an email, and we'll be more than happy to get you on. All right, so 11 signs that it is time for you and I to let go of things. And you can use this in all contexts, whether it be relationships, business, personal, all that. If you want to, that's whatever you want to use, feel free. All right. So 11 signs that it is time for you to let go. Number one, I'm going to break them down slowly if I can here. When you are expected to sacrifice your personal values and change into someone you are not, it is time for you to let go. When people have to make you, if you are in a place where you have to transform like Optimus Prime to help other people, or to be something that you know that you're not, if you know that you're an introvert, but the person or the thing that you're dealing with is trying to force you to be an extrovert, it's time to let go, because life's too short for the other nonsense, right? Life's too short for the other nonsense. Why are we trying to hold on to something that God has probably told you to let go a long time ago? Anyway, so number one, when you are expected to sacrifice your personal values and change into someone you are really not, it is time to let these people go. Let's do our best Moses impression. We do that. Let's do our best Moses impression and let our people go, or let yourself go. I'm telling you, that's number one. I mean, that's a big one, though. That's a big one, because you will be amazed at how many people want you to change their they want you to flip your personal values. You believe in a certain thing. You came up and they believe a certain thing. Excuse me. My wife is going off again. Okay, so I can't even close my door. Hold on. Wait. I'm back. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I had to get things straightened out. I go live every Friday, and I go through this every Friday. All right. So, number two, real quick. Number two, when your trust. Hey, I got some eyes on here. Listen. So, number two, when your trust is completely broken, that's kind of a common sense thing, right? That's kind of something that you should do anyhow, simply because that's common sense. If you're still hanging on to something or someone, and they continuously break your trust, and if you stay there, then we're gonna have to have a serious conversation. Like, what's really going on? If you are still holding on to a business idea, a business venture, or people in business, or a relationship, or a wife, or a husband, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and they constantly are breaking your trust, honey, sir, ma'am, it is time to let these people go. If we can cut out the middleman, if we can cut out some of the nonsense in this joint, life will be a lot easier for some of us, right? Because we have not decided to let them go for whatever reason. We feel like, oh, it's going to be okay if I just hang on for a little while longer, right? Here's the thing, and this is something that I heard Trent Shelton say. Shout out to Trent Shelton. If I heard a lot of other people say this, you cannot stay in the same place, or you can't heal in the same place that you got cut. Am I right about that? You can't do it. It's impossible. There's no way. If someone is steady slashing your wrist and you want to heal, and it scabs over, and you go right back and they cut your wrist again and you stay there, that is totally a personal choice. At some point or another, we have to say, you know what? I'm not doing this no more with you, them, or anywhere else. We have got to stop doing that. When your trust is completely broken, it is time for you to let these people, situations go. Why do we constantly hold on to all of this? I've never understood it. Number three, if you are staying in it, if staying in it, and I just got through saying this, if staying in it makes you feel broken, depressed, or frustrated, it is time to let them go. See, a lot of these things I'm going to say to you tonight, it's probably going to be, there's going to be a lot of overlap when I'm talking about some of these things. But think about, if you stay, if you stay and someone makes you feel broken, or something, I'm not going to put it on people. It's not all people. But staying in something makes you feel broken, depressed, and or frustrated. It is time to let things go. It's time to reevaluate what's important to you. A lot of times, to if we got back to loving ourselves, we can benefit a lot. If we got back to being, looking in the mirror, because a lot of times when people talk to me and they say, well, yeah, I don't know, I feel this way and I feel that way. Okay. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? That's the first question that I ask anyone. If you look in the mirror, what do you see? Lorinda on Haps said, put your trust in no one. Watch them. They show you the real them. Let me tell you something. I'm a firm believer in action. I'm a firm believer in it. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, I can show you better than I can tell you. That's one of the things I've always believed in. I can show you a lot better, a lot more than I can tell you. And as long as my action, as long as what I'm doing shows action to what I'm saying, that I'm doing good. It's the moment that my action stops ceasing, that's when it becomes a problem. And so people have to understand, when people will show you how, or they will show you how, that what's the word? Okay, let me get the phrase right. People will show you how to treat them. Uh, you show. I'm sorry, I got it right now. You show people how to treat you. So if you allow nonsense, you're going to continue to get nonsense. When you decide that you're going to do something better, when you want better for yourself, someone said, if you know better, you do better, right? That's what they say, right? But it is time for you to get back to what is important to you. You cannot continue to stay in this place, and you're waking up every day, you're in depression, you're taking medication, you got anxiety, you got all this other good stuff, because you have not decided to let people go. Let them people go. Listen, if someone said they don't want to be in your life, guess what? You can't make them, and it's time to let them go. If people in business want to do you dirty, guess what? They're going to do you dirty until you show them that you're not going to take it. Then you can get somewhere. But staying in something that makes you feel broken, depressed, and frustrated, no, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Number 4, If you feel inferior in this situation, if you feel inferior, see, verbiage is everything. Verbiage is absolutely everything. If you feel inferior, see, let me tell you how Terry built. The way Terry built is, I am inferior to no one, nor am I superior to anyone. I am Terry. That is it. If you are in a situation to where you feel inferior, first of all, check your, you need to check your skilo. If you feel inferior to someone or something, yeah, you need to first of all reevaluate you before you let them go. Reevaluate you. That's something going on inside of you that if you think that being inferior is okay, then we got a problem. We got a problem. Feeling inferior, see, but we want better. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Everybody that's on Zenu listening to me right now, thank you for listening. Listen to me right now. If you want better, if you're going through right now and you don't know and can't see what's going on with you, and you can't feel, and you don't feel no better, and you're laying in bed and you're doing this and you just feel a way about certain things, okay? First of all, I need for every single person that's listening and watching to reevaluate yourself. Check yourself. Let things go. And we're going to talk about forgiveness before I get off here, because forgiveness is a big key too. But learning how to let stuff go, I can't stuff, especially stuff you can't control. But what you can control is how you feel about you. When you look in the mirror and if you think to yourself that you are inferior, that's a problem. That is a major, major issue. And if you don't understand that, you need to find someone to talk to, because ain't nobody gonna tell you that you're not inferior. You have to know. Well, I'll tell you that. I'll take that back. I'll tell you that you're not inferior. But if I say it and 10 other people tell you that, guess what? If you don't feel it, it's not gonna matter. So it's about, at the end of the day, it's about what you feel. That's why they call it self. Put the emphasis on F, self-esteem. You have to see that for yourself. When you look in the mirror, how do I feel? I look in the mirror, I say to myself, you know what? I ain't Denzel, but you know what though? Still, you know what I'm saying? So you have to look in the mirror and you have to kind of consider what it is that you see about you. But feeling inferior is something that I refuse. And you have to be in that place. Your peace, your joy, all of that stuff is a feeling. And if you have those things, then feeling inferior is nothing. It's not even in your vocabulary. So we have to get to the place where we cannot not feel inferior. Number five. Number five. If you justify that it's worth holding on to, it's really not. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. If you have to, in your head, formulate reasons and situations for you to say, you know what, it's okay. I can hold on a little while longer. It's okay. Right? If you can justify in your brain holding on to someone that makes you feel inferior, makes you feel broken, depressed, and frustrated, and all the other stuff I talked about earlier, if you are okay with that in your head mentally, we have a problem. We have a problem. We have to reevaluate. I keep saying it, and I'm going to probably say it 100 more times before we get out here. We have to check it ourselves. What's up, E? My man Ernest said, it is esteem of your MF self. And my cat Williams say, it's self-esteem, right? But if you in your brain justify that it is okay and worth holding on to that nonsense, we have a problem. I'm gonna need for everyone to hold hands and saying kumbaya or something, but that is not how this works. That is not how this works. I tell you what, Dr. Phil, I don't know if you guys watch him. Dr. Phil McGraw says it all the time. He says, how is that working for you? How is that working for you? If you think that holding on to this piece of trash, or holding on to that woman, or holding on to that business partner who had done you dirty and stole money from you and schemed you, if you feel like that dude and that chick is okay to be in your circle, then guess what? You deserve every iota. But I am here to tell you that it does not have to be that way. You have to get back to what's important. Okay. Here's a good one. The next one, number 6. Number 6 is a good one. I want everybody to catch it. Hold on to your pearls on this one. Number 6. If you can't remember the last time you were happy, it's time to let them go. Let that sizzle in your spirit just for a second. Let that sizzle. While I play my commercial break here, hold on one second.
WLEO 26.7 online radio. The hottest in today's new music. Hits from the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. R&B, gospel, jazz, and indie music. All on one station.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So, if you, sir or ma'am, that's listening to this show right now, if you cannot remember the last time you were happy, we are going to have to recontemplate life for 2.5 seconds. I know a lot of people like that that's struggling in that arena right there. They've dealt with stuff for so long and been unhappy for so long until they snap all the way off the branch and don't know what happened. If you cannot remember the last time you were happy, we need to have a chat. We need to say, you need to inbox me on Facebook. If you can't remember the last time you was happy, because see, this life that we live, we get one shot. We get one shot at this thing called life. And if you can't remember the last time you were happy, we really need to reevaluate. I get that we have things that happen. Life happens. Situations happen. We lose loved ones. We lose jobs. We lose homes. It happens to every one of us. Don't get it twisted. We all have it. And I'm not saying or downplaying the fact that people are hurt. But what I'm saying to you is, if you can't remember the last time you were happy, and you can that's something that you can control. Again, and it goes back to what I said earlier. We can't control everything, but there are a lot of things that we can control. And one of the things you control is how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself. That is what you can control. And if you cannot, sir or man, remember the last time you were happy, we really need to have a conversation. I want somebody to inbox me. Number 7. You find out that you are the only one making sacrifices. Now, this is in relationships, well, maybe businesses too. But when you reach out and you find out that you are the only one making a sacrifice, it is time to let them people go. You understand me? Because if it's not, especially if you're in a partnership of any kind, whether it's a business, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a relationship with someone, if you are the only one pulling your weight, it is time to let them folks walk. Because it's at the end of the day, it's not really going to matter whether they walk or not. Why? Because they didn't care enough to cultivate you and love you and support you while they had you. So them walking don't mean nothing. It really don't mean nothing. And we will hold on to that. Trust me, I've been there. I'm that guy. So I'm not just bashing people. I'm not bashing anybody. But I'm that guy. I was that guy. I went through that. And I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know. Like, and we can't, we just let it. I was the only one pulling weight, working 2 jobs, doing what I needed to do, broadcasting, not getting any sleep, up in the middle of the night, doing this, doing that. You know what I'm saying? But when you're the only one making those sacrifices, now I can see if it was on both ends of the spectrum. If everybody's doing the same thing, if everybody's pulling their weight, that's a whole situation, a different situation altogether. But when you're the only one, it's time for you to reevaluate. If you're the only one pulling weight, just think about it. You know what's going on. You people show you what they're gonna do. People show you what they're gonna, people show you this stuff. So if you're the only one pulling weight, it's time to let them folks walk. Number 8. When was the last time you expressed yourself? When was the last time you really told somebody how I feel? Listen, a lot of breakdowns in relationships, marriages, partnerships is because the communication goes away. Right? The communication goes away. So if I say I feel a certain way about this, but you're internalizing what you're feeling and not telling the other person, you're doing them a terrible disservice to you and to them because you don't want to open your mouth. There's a saying that says a closed mouth don't get fed. So with that being said, if you don't open your mouth and say, you are cutting me, sir or ma'am. You are cutting me and not allowing me to grow. You are cutting me and you're making me feel this way. You're making me feel inferior. You're making me depressed. If you don't open your mouth, guess what? The stuff continues to happen. It continues to happen. Why? Why though? Because we don't want to put forth the same energy. Listen, the energy you use to take that gripe and tell your best friend and your work buddies and all of that same energy you use to do that, use that energy to tell that person that you're with, I'm tired of your mess. Either straighten up or I'm out of here. Makes sense, right? Use that same energy that you use to complain, to tell them folks, listen, man, this is how I feel about this. And either you're going to make this better or, whatever. If we don't pull the bestest Whoopi Goldberg impression out of your back pocket, if you don't sit there and say, until you do right by me, you know what I'm saying? If we don't start doing that, then guess what? We're going to go through the same thing over and over again. And it's not, and believe me, the cut, the song goes, the first cut is the deepest. But imagine, so if the first cut is the deepest, imagine that person doing the same first cut all over again because you allow them to. I digress. Let me move on. Number 9. You refuse to acknowledge the present because it hurts too much. See, right there. If you refuse to acknowledge the present, if you say, if you pull the old Bobby Shmurda and said it was all good just a week ago, and not acknowledge the present, guess what? It does you a disservice. It does you a disservice. If you can acknowledge what's going on right now, I'm hurt right now, I'm crying right now, I'm depressed right now. If you can't say that, if you refuse to acknowledge the fact that you are in pain right now because someone has cut you and kept it moving, if you don't acknowledge that right now, guess what? You're going to sit back and you're going to think to yourself, going, why didn't I say something? Because they say that hindsight is 20/20. That's what they say, right? But you have the option to let these folks know how you feel right now. See, I used to be that guy. I used to be that guy to where I would let stuff simmer, right? You want to let it soak in your spirit. You want to let it sizzle in your spirit for as long as you want to let, then you hold a grudge and you got resentment. Then you got all this other good stuff going on, right? So instead of acknowledging what's going on right now, I let it simmer. And then guess what? As soon as a fight break out, or as soon as an argument break out, then it's all hell. Why? Because we didn't say what we should have said 6 months ago. See, a lot of people say that women do that a lot. So do men. So don't be fooled by that. Don't let nobody tell you that it's just women. Lies. Because men do it too. We'll sit here and hold a grudge and be mad at you. And then as soon as we get the opportunity, we're going to spring it on you like a jack in the box. I promise you. Don't let nobody tell you that. That's a lie. If you refuse to acknowledge the present because it hurts too much, you need to let them go. Number 10, and I'm almost done. I got one more after this one. There is inconsistency every single time. There's an inconsistency about what's going on every single time. Hey, Richard. No point letting it simmer, allowing your energy to exactly. That's right. There's always inconsistency every single time. So here's what number 10 means to me. Number 10 means to me that you cannot change the rules in the middle of the game. That's what I'll say. This is what I mean when I say that. If you started out doing something great, if you showed chivalry in the beginning, we talking marriages and relationships now. If you showed chivalry in the beginning, and then once you got her hooked, then you started being hood through chivalry right out the door. Like you can't do that. You know, if you sent her flowers on Tuesdays because you wanted to land the number one part, okay, you got that. Now what you do? You can't do that. Stop being inconsistent. And so that's the reason why people will show their hand every time. People will say, and they will show you exactly who they are, right? And they will show you that inconsistency. That's the reason why Steve Harvey caught a lot of slack about the book that he wrote, right? And I'm not the biggest fan of Steve Harvey because he told our stuff, but you make that man wait 6 weeks or 90 days or whatever that is. I think it was 90 days. But in 90 days, because a person can only hold a lie on average 2 weeks. A person can hold a lie on average for 2 weeks. You make that man wait 90 days, you'll see. You'll see exactly what these folks are about. And you have to allow them that, right? And stop giving these folks access to you. I'm not sure who that is. It says anonymous Facebook user, so I don't know. I had to jump on Facebook to see who that is. But you have to not change the rules in the middle of the game. You have to show consistency. The moment someone shows you their inconsistency, it is time to let them go. Okay, it's time. I'm gonna bring all 11 of these to the forefront in a minute. Number 11, last one. If you've already exhausted all of your efforts, but everything stays the same, it is time to let them go. Let me read that one more time because that's important. Okay. You've already exhausted every aspect, everything, all of your efforts, everything, but everything stays the same. It is time to let those people go. Now, to bring all 11 of these to fruition, real quick before I get out of here, we as a people are going to have to learn how to get back to the basics. I know that's a simple concept. Hold a lie for 2 weeks, but some people live a lie, have to lie. Exactly. You're right, Richard. You're absolutely right. But we, at some point or another, we have to learn how to get back to the basics. We can no longer rely on people to give us affirmation, confirmation, all of that. We cannot. We are in a place in life that we cannot live like that. We cannot. There are people right now walking through depression because they have not allowed people to walk out of their lives. Why? Because of fear of what life would be like without them. We have held on to people, situations been cut over and over and over and over and over again And then before you realize it, 10 years have passed you by. And then you say, why, God, am I still cut? Why? Because you haven't let them go. God said, let them people go. Let that situation go. I purposely put things or stumbling blocks in your way for you to say, whoa, it is time for me to go. But you have continued to hold on. Why? Because it's easier to hold on than to let go. And I never could understand that. And this is me too. Why is it easier to hold on than to let go? Why? Because the biggest fear is that we are going to fall apart without that person or that thing, that business, whatever it is. We are afraid that we are going to fall completely apart, like God didn't make you before them people came into your life. Like you weren't who you were before them people came into your life. Huh? Help me understand. Make it make sense, like the young folks say. Make it make sense. I'm about to perform my apps and you came on my feed. Very good. Good advice and info. Let it go. Thank you, Lorinda. I appreciate you. You have the opportunity to be what God has called you to be. But it's just like doing laundry. Sometimes you got to put people in the wash cycle. Come on. You got to put people in the rinse cycle. Wash that dirt away. Wash them away. You got to. Because you can't come out clean on the other end if you still got dirt. If you got dirt, you can't clean, right? Richard said, been that brother, and so glad and wise and not fear get used to get me no more. We can't allow fear to get you anymore, right? Because dumb folks that you're fearful of them leaving or renting space in your head rent free. And guess what? They live their best life. And guess what? We hurting. They live their best life, living good in the hood, and you good, and you over there struggling. Let those people go. I am so tired of listening to or watching people that I love and admire go through, and because they haven't let people go. Now, on the flip side of that, sometimes when you let go of people, you have to learn how to forgive them as they walk. See, a lot of times you're not going to get that closure. See, people live for closure. They want closure. I got to have closure. Why he just leave? Or why she just leave and they give me any closure? Man, people don't care about closure, man. People don't care about giving it to you. You feel me? People don't care about you. Listen. Let them people go. And as they are walking away from you, forgive them. Forgive them. And then after you forgive them people, and I say this 1,000 times on any of my shows that I've ever done, after you forgive those people, then turn around and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to go through that hurt. Forgive yourself for not recognizing the pain. Forgive yourself. Holding on to that pain and that hurt, even though I'm sitting on this mic and y'all think I'm just talking. Let me tell you something. I went through the pain. I know what it's like to hold on to pain. I know what it's like to hurt for years and years and years and years and can't see on the other side of the mountain because you've been through so much pain. I've been there. I'm that guy. Right? Anybody that knows me personally knows. But we have to learn how to first let go and then forgive these people, because some may give you closure, others may not. And you have to be okay if they don't give you closure. At the end of the day, it's about what you feel, what you love, what you want to do. Thank you, Lorinda. I appreciate you. It is about what you need. It's about you. At the end of the day, let's forget about relationships right now. Let's get you. Because if you're not straight, you shouldn't be in one anyways. If you're not honestly healed and whole, you shouldn't be in one anyways. Because the only thing you're doing is cutting on somebody who didn't, bleeding on somebody who didn't cut you. Shout out Trish Shelton. If you're not whole and you're in something and that's unfair to the person that you're with, because you're bleeding on someone who did not cut you. We need to reevaluate. Not saying that you can't salvage what's left, but you have to at first wake up and say, I got to do this for me. I got to love me for me, because ain't nobody gonna do it like me. Ain't nobody gonna love me like me. Understand? So that's my spiel. That is tonight's show. I know normally I'll play music. Normally I'm on here cutting up, but I had a message tonight. And I wanted people to understand you have to learn how to let people, situations, things, let them go. The thoughts, let them go. The fear, let it go. The anger, let it go. The petty, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, like Elsa. Let it go. Or you're setting yourself up for years of torture. That's it. That's it. That's my show. That's my show. That's my show, man. For real. I love y'all. Everybody is watching me live on apps across all platforms. I thank you. I appreciate you for watching. I really do. The people that are listening on Zenu, thank you for listening. WLEO 26.7 on your internet radio dial. If you want to listen to this show audio only, just download the Zenu app, ZENO. Download that app, do a search for WLEO, and our station runs 24/7. Music from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. We play it all. If you have a show idea, like to be a part of the radio station, shoot me an email, shoot me a message or whatever, and let's talk about it. All right. But in the meantime, in between time, you guys have a great rest of your day. Oh, and don't forget Sunday live on our radio station there. The Knucklehead Chronicles podcast will go live with me, Kevin Peoples, and Quinn Stewart. So make sure you jump aboard on Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Real Talk with DaGuru. Visit KnuckleheadChroniclespodcast.com and catch all the episodes from the podcast and radio show. Remember, we love you, but God loves you more.